Hi everyone, welcome to Numeriq Learning. Today we are in day 50 of the Do Math With Me series. Let me know in the comments how many of you have been following the series for a very long time. Right now we are practicing questions from the 9th chapter of class 10th mathematics, which is Applications of Trigonometry. But the first question is based on the previous chapter, which is Introduction to Trigonometry. Doesn't matter which chapter it belongs to, 8 or 9. It's good that we practice it on a everyday basis and revise it regularly. Let's get started. So the very first question is, you are given tan plus secant is equal to L. You have to prove that secant is equal to L square plus 1 by 2L. So you are given tan theta plus secant theta as L. Now there is an identity which is related to tan and secant. So let me tell you as something which we should already be knowing, that secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. Okay, so this is of the form a square minus b square. So what is it? It's a minus b into a plus b, or a plus b into a minus b, right? Secant theta plus tan theta multiplied by secant theta minus tan theta is equal to 1. So you have just used an identity, that is a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So what is a plus b equal to? 1 by a minus b. Okay, so I'm just telling you in an easier format. So this implies secant theta plus tan theta is equal to 1 by secant theta minus tan theta, right? And you can also write the same way for secant. This is a product of 2, isn't it? So suppose this is a into b equal to 1. So I can write a is nothing but 1 by b, or I can write b is nothing but 1 by a. So I can also write secant minus tan theta is nothing but 1 over secant plus tan. Okay, so secant theta minus tan theta is equal to 1 divided by secant theta plus tan theta. So whenever you are given secant theta plus tan theta, you can easily identify what is secant theta minus tan theta. Okay, if you are given secant minus tan, you can identify secant plus tan. So suppose you are given secant plus tan is equal to a. What is secant theta minus tan theta? It is 1 by a. If you are given secant theta plus tan theta is nothing but x. What is secant plus tan theta? 1 by x. Okay, so it's just the reciprocal of the other. Now, what are you given? Tan plus secant is nothing but secant plus tan. So, secant plus tan is given as L. Isn't it? Secant plus tan is nothing but L. So, what is secant minus tan theta? It is 1 by L. So, let us write it directly. So, whenever you are given this, you can directly write that. Okay, so if secant theta plus tan theta is equal to L, which is given for us in the question, therefore you can write secant theta minus tan theta is equal to 1 by L. Okay, by default. Now what do you need? You need, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. You need to find secant theta in terms of your L. This is L. So you need to find secant theta in terms of L, right? So because you need secant theta, we have to eliminate tan theta from these two equations. So you have a plus tan theta, you have a minus tan theta in the second equation. So what we can do is we can add the two equations. Okay, you can simply add the two equations. So this plus tan theta minus tan theta will get cancelled, right? So what you have in the LHS is secant plus secant, which is 2 secant theta is equal to L plus 1 by L. You are just adding the two equations. Okay, so adding 1 and 2. So you can take the LCM. You have LCM is L. So you have L square plus 1. And in the LHS it is 2 secant theta. So what is secant theta equal to? L square plus 1 by 2L. So this is what we have to prove. Secant theta is L square plus 1 by 2L, hence proved. Suppose if there is another expression that is in terms of you are given the same question, but you have to prove something in terms of your tan theta. In that case, what should you do? You have to subtract the two equations. Whenever you're subtracting a pair of linear equations, you have to change the sign. Okay? You have to change the sign. And in that case, secant will get cancelled. So you'll get 2 tan theta is equal to some expression. Okay? So you always have to remember this. Okay? Whenever you're given something in terms of tan and secant or cot and cosecant, remember secant plus tan is equal to 1 by secant minus tan, and the other way around, secant minus tan equal to 1 by secant plus tan. Okay, so it's very, very easy to prove it. Let's move on to the second question. You have to prove that root of 1 plus cos square theta multiplied by secant square theta is equal to tan theta. Let us take the LHS. So square root 1 minus cos square theta. What is 1 minus cos square theta? It is sine square theta. Sine square theta multiplied by secant square is nothing but 1 by cos square theta. Okay, so you have within the square root sine square by cos square. So what is sine square by cos square? It is tan square theta. And square root of tan square theta is nothing but tan theta. Hence proved. So these are all very, very small questions, but again, it depends on how quickly you are able to identify what you need to do. So you have to convert cosecant into sine, secant into cos square. Okay, cosine and then sine by cosine is tan. Quite an easy question. Let's move on to the third question of the day. Yeah, 1 plus, if you are given cos A plus cos square A equal to 1, then you have to show that sine square A plus sine to the power 4 A is equal to 1. Again, a very, very easy question. Let's do it. You are given cos A plus cos square A is equal to 1. So let's find out what is cos A. It's nothing but 1 minus cos square A. What is 1 minus cos square A? It is sine square A. Right? So this is nothing but your cos A. Now let us square on both the sides. Squaring both the sides. So when you square both the sides, you will get cos square A is equal to sine square A the whole square. Sine square A the whole square, which is nothing but sine to the power 4A. Okay, so this will become cos square A is nothing but 1 minus sine square A. You rearrange the term because you need to find sine square A plus sine to the power 4A. So you can take minus sine square A to the RHS side. So you can get 1 is equal to sine square A. Minus becomes plus when it moves from LHS to RHS. Plus you already have a sine to the power 4A is equal to 1, hence proved. Okay. That's all. Let us move on to the fourth question. Yeah. You have to prove that tan theta plus 2 multiplied by 2 tan theta plus 1 is equal to 5 tan plus secant square theta. Let us take the LHS. Just multiply the two expressions. So let me write what is given. Tan theta plus 2 multiplied by 2 tan theta plus 1. Okay, just multiply each term of the first expression with all the terms of the second expression. Then take the second expression and multiply it with all the terms of the second one. Okay, so do it step by step. So the first one is tan theta multiplied by 2 tan theta. It is nothing but 2 tan square theta plus tan theta multiplied by 1 plus 1, which is tan theta. Then plus 2 multiplied by 2 tan theta, it is plus 4 tan theta plus 2 multiplied by 2, which is plus 2. So you can solve it. What you get is 2 tan square theta plus tan theta plus 4 tan theta is 5 tan theta plus 2. Okay, you can write tan square theta is nothing but secant square theta minus 1. So tan square theta, I can write it as secant square theta minus 1 plus all the other terms remain as it is. And why did I convert tan to secant? Because you need an expression in the RHS which has a 5 tan theta that we already have got, and then the next term is secant squared. So we have converted tan squared to secant square. Now open the bracket. So you will get 2 secant square theta minus 2 plus 5 tan theta plus 2. So this minus 2 plus 2 gets cancelled, and what remains is just 2 secant square theta plus 5 tan theta. Hence proved. Okay. I hope it's clear. Let's move on to the fifth question. Yeah. The angle of elevation of the top of a tower is 30 degrees. If the height of the tower is doubled, then the angle of elevation of the top will also be double. You have to show that. Okay. Let us see. Initially, let us draw a tower of height h. Okay. So let this be the tower of height h. And then the tower's height is doubled. So, initially, the angle of elevation is said to be 30 degrees. You have to show that the angle of elevation when the height of the tower is doubled, in that case, angle theta is also doubled. Let us find out, and we have to even prove it. So, let this be a tower. Say you have your A, B, C. AC is your tower. Again, the same thing, A, B, C. Let this tower be of height h. The height is doubled, so it is 2h here. One of the angles is given here as 30 degrees. This we don't know, let it be theta. You have to prove that theta will be 60 degree. Okay. Let this distance between the observer point and the tower, let it be x. Here also we don't know, let us keep it as x itself. Now in the first triangle, in triangle ABC, we can apply tan 30 equal to perpendicular by base h by x. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to h by x. What is x equal to? X is equal to h root 3. Or you can write height is equal to x by root 3. Either ways. Okay. Now, because you have to find the height of the tower, right? It is the height comparison that is happening here. In the second scenario, again, in the triangle, probably we can say A dash, B dash, C dash. In triangle, here, what is tan theta is equal to, again, same perpendicular by base 2h by x. In place of h, we can substitute h as x by root 3. So, it is 2 by x multiplied by h is nothing but x by root 3. Your x and x gets cancelled. So, now what remains is tan theta is nothing but 2 by root 3. Right? So, multiply numerator and denominator by root 3. So, what you have? 2 by 3 multiplied by root 3 is what you are getting. Right? So, here root 3 we know it is 1.73. What is 2 by 3? It is 0.6. This is nothing but your tan theta. Right? So, when you multiply, you will be getting 1.038. Approximately, you will be getting this value. Okay. But however, you know that tan 60, okay, tan 45 is 1. Tan 60 is nothing but root 3. Right? Tan 60 is nothing but root 3 and root 3 is nothing but 1.732. Okay. So, if this value that you were getting for tan theta, if it was 1.732, then we could have been able to prove that theta is equal to 60 degree. But now, right now, this is much less than 1.63. So, what you are getting here is much less than root 3. Okay, because since it's less than root 3, which means what? Theta is less than 60 degree. That means theta is not, the required angle is not doubled. It is even though the height of the tower is doubled, here in our case we see that the required angle of elevation is not doubled, hence proved. So you have to prove and you have to justify this. Okay, you have to make sure you draw the two diagrams, elaborate on the scenarios, two scenarios wherein the height of the tower is h and then 2h, and then apply your trigonometric ratios here and then show what is the impact of the h on theta. Okay, so this is your answer. Theta is less than 60, so angle of elevation theta is not doubled in this case. I hope it's clear. That's your answer. Let's move on to the next question. Yeah. A bridge crosses a river, makes an angle of 45 degrees with the river bank as shown in the figure. If the length of the bridge across the river is 150 meters, find the width of the river. So you have a river flowing, okay, and there is a bridge across the river which makes an angle of 45 degrees, okay, with the river bank. This is the river bank. If the length of the bridge is if the length of the bridge across the river is 150 meters, find the width of the river. So this is nothing but your width. Okay, the total, how wide the river is, right? This is your, let's draw a perpendicular line. Okay, this will be 90 degrees. Can you see a right angle triangle here? So let it be A, B and C. Okay, you can mark your, this is what you need to find. Let us be width of the river. Let it be W. Okay, so what can you apply here? You can see this is theta. So this is your perpendicular. This is your hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is given to you. Perpendicular is asked, right? Because it's right in front of your theta. So if what is the trigonometric ratio which relates P and H? It is sine. Okay, so you can write in triangle ABC, sine 45 is equal to P by H. Perpendicular by I. What is your perpendicular? It is the width of the river. Divided by hypotenuse is 150. What is sine 45? 1 by root 2. Sine 45 cos 45 is both are 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 is equal to width of the river divided by 150. So cross multiply, you will get root 2, W is equal to 150 and W is equal to 150 divided by root 2. Multiply numerator and denominator by root 2. So what do you get? 150 root 2 by 2. Okay. So 75 root 2 meters. Right? Okay. 2 sevens are 14. 75. So therefore you can write, therefore the width of the river is 75 root 2 meters. Hence, that's all. Okay. This is not a proof, so you don't have to write hence proved. You just have to find a value. So that's all for today. I think you solved very good few questions. Let me know your feedback in the comments. And please do check the previous videos of Do Math with me if you haven't. And I hope you are liking it. Let me know. Thank you so much. Do subscribe and please do share it with your friends. Happy learning.